What is up, hooligans? And happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. Now, I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you're over on Rumble, please hit that like button. More likes equals more hooligans. I'm going to read through the schedule really quick, and we'll check on all the chats. So let me know how you guys are doing today. Now, before we get any further, I want to remind you guys, if you would like to join the website, right now is the time to do it. Go get you a membership for jeffmaclive.com. That way you can watch the days live, you can post in Hooligans Alley, and you can hang out with all the hooligans in the group chats. Plus, you'll be able to join us on Fridays, 6 p.m. Eastern time for our voice chat, which is a lot of fun. We just sit there and hang out and tell jokes and make each other laugh way too much. So definitely go get you a membership for jeffmaclive.com. We're going to be starting off with a video titled, Victims Can Sue Two of Jeffrey Epstein's Advisors. I don't even... They try to make it sound like it's a good thing, but it's expensive to sue people, so I don't know. It's like a false flag to niceties. Nonsense. And then we have a video titled, Rising Immigration Sparks Overflowing Outrage in England, which is totally a manipulated title there. People are pissed off about border crossers being in the country illegally, and then an incident happened, and they originally thought it was a border crosser that committed this incident, but it wasn't. But it doesn't matter, so they got pissed off and went and did the thing, and now their media is pushing propaganda. We have a follow-up video today on that. Then we have a video titled, Squad Member Loses Democratic Primary to Pro-Israel Candidate. This is Cory Bush, now kicked out of the squad. This is the second member of the squad we've seen go down. The last one was when AOC was on stage with that crackhead squirrel energy, and there was the bald-headed black dude. He was like, thrusting the damn stool in the air and playing vulgar rap music and shit. He lost too, so the squad is going down. Then we have a video titled, Pakistani man's assassination threat is frightening, says Laura Trump. More people threatening President Trump's life, as well as other politicians. That was a couple days ago. This is the first video I found that's actually decent. Snook sent it to me. It's a good one. Then we got a video titled, Vice President Harris calls Governor Tim Walz, or whatever, to ask him to be her running mate. This is some sort of advertisement that Hyena Harris put out, but it's just so fake and cringy. I thought we should just go ahead and watch it and talk so much shit about her, because she's a piece of shit. Then we got a video titled, Tim Walz Being a Commie. It's from a MSNBC interview that was a year ago. This guy has a problem with free speech and shit like that. So, look forward to that if he somehow becomes VP coming up. Then we have a video titled, These are groups engaged in anti-American activities getting government funding. So sent to me by Sam. This is talking about the... what is it called? The Inflation Reduction Act, and how it's really just the Green New scam. Like President Trump is always telling us, these people are breaking out the news on that they are just funding anti-American activities. Then we have our last little bit of the news for the day. It's titled, Ratsack Skin announces plan to overthrow SCOTUS and trigger civil war. I was asked about this video, I think it was yesterday. Someone had asked me if I had seen it, and I have. But I couldn't find a short version of the video, so I went and found some timestamps and stuff. And we're going to cover it because Ratsack Skin is a fucking commie, and we've known that for a long time. So we'll go ahead and get into that. Then we have our feel-good video of the day that is titled, Let Freedom Ring. And then we have our funny video of the day that's a really good one. It's titled, Nature's Holster. And all of that's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat and see how you hooligans are doing today. What is up, everyone over on jeffmaclive.com. What's up, Annette? What's up, Moose Girl? What's up, Breeze by You? What's up, Ten Man? What's up, Hair Juicer? What's up, Russell? What's up, Matt? What's up, Mr. Beansy Beans? What's up, RK? What's up, Snooks? And what's up, Damsel? Happy freedom, you hooligans. I appreciate all of you guys being on the website. And what is up, everyone over on Rumble? Russell, you were first today. I appreciate you, Russell. Thank you for being omnipresent. Thank you for racing into the chat. What's up, Breeze by You? You're omnipresent. You're awesome. Let me see. What's up, Astral Hammer? Happy freedom. Jeff is early. I know. I was actually trying to be on time today, but didn't do that. Not quite. I try, though. What's up, Pumpkin? Happy freedom. What's up, Black White Bull? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Lifelike? Let me see. You guys waiting on me. What's up, MU? Happy freedom. What's up, Grind? What's up, Puffin' Stuff? What's up, Kung Fu? What's up, Sly Dog? Moose Girl, you're omnipresent. You're awesome. What's up, Zupia? Happy freedom. What's up, Paul? What's up, Cricket Kiss? What's up, IB4? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Wayward? Appreciate you. What's up, Matthew? Let me see. What's up, Betsy L? Appreciate you being here with us. What's up, Rappy? Happy freedom. Don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble. Let's see. Pumpkin. Oh, yes. Cory Bush is gone with the wind at last. Yes. And I don't know about the person replacing them. I mean, it is another Democrat, but hopefully they're not as vile. What's up, everyone over on Kick? What's up, Late to Work? What's up, Red Bear? Happy freedom. Late to Work. Chapstick Tick. Fuck the world. That's right. We need to come out with some chapstick t-shirts. I keep thinking that, and I haven't put any together. I'm going to have to get with Alistair. We'll have to figure something out. What's up, everyone over on Twitch? What's up, Matt? What's up, Tony Rich? Happy freedom. Let me see. What's up, Southern Eagle Man? Happy freedom to you. And what's up, everyone over on the Commie platform? Kung Fu, you're omnipresent. You're awesome. What's up, Mr. Satan? What's up, Barbara? Sly Dog, you're omnipresent. You're awesome. What's up, Jason? Happy freedom. And what's up, Damon Walker? You guys can hit the like button over on the Commie platform, too. That ain't going to hurt nothing. Nothing. I don't know why I said it like that. That's okay. Anyways, we're going to get started here. This first video is titled, Victims Can Sue Two Jeffrey Epstein Advisors. Like I said, this is kind of some nonsense because it sounds good, but having the option to sue somebody isn't free. That's not a free thing. You have to pay to do that shit. So you've been victimized by Jeffrey Epstein or people connected to him. Now you have the opportunity to spend money to go after them. Like, the things I would like to say, but it'd be so like incriminating. Anyways, we're gonna get into this right here. Now, before we get into this video, I want to remind you guys, we have these Trump Fight t-shirts. Comes in shirts for men, shirts for women, tank tops for men, tank tops for women, coffee mugs, stickers, dog tags, and all kinds of stuff. Today I got on the Plain Jane Hooligan t-shirt, and I realized the Jeff Mac logo is fading. 4 years. It took 4 years for the logo to fade off the back. So now I gotta buy a new one, but that's okay. That's okay. I will drop the link to the merch store in the chat while we're watching this first video.
New York judge giving the green light for some of Jeffrey Epstein's victims to sue the disgraced financier's former attorney and accountant. The judge rejecting claims that the victims' previous settlements kept them from filing class action lawsuits related to the case. There's no word yet on if or when the case will move forward. Alicia Nieves is live for us now. And Alicia, hundreds of millions already being paid out to victims. Where do things go from here?
Well, Anna, so far, the Jeffrey Epstein estate, right, has been sued and settled with more than 100 victims. And then we had two major banks, JP Morgan Chase and Deutsche Bank, agree to a $365 million settlement with the victims because of their alleged role in kind of missing some flags that allowed Jeffrey Epstein to thrive in these sex crimes for decades. And now a district court here in New York just ruled that a trusted lawyer of Epstein and his accountant can also be held accountable by these victims and also be sued. Now, we know the lawyer representing these victims accused Epstein's lawyer, Darren Indike, and his accountant, Richard Kahn, of building this complex financial infrastructure that allowed Epstein to sexually abuse hundreds of women, pay them off, and then even pay some of those victims to recruit other future victims, all without banks or the IRS flagging the vast cash withdrawals and the payments by Epstein, and allowing Epstein to traffic young girls and women at his New York City home and other parts of the world, again, for decades. Now, the victims' lawyers allege that Indike and Kahn were richly compensated, and it's just inconceivable that they were unaware what Epstein was doing behind closed doors. Now, the lawyer for those victims tell News Nation, quote, "We are pleased and grateful for this decision. The survivors in this litigation will have their day in court to hold Darren Indike and Richard Kahn accountable for facilitating the devastating abuse they, the victims, suffered." Now, while Indike and Kahn can be sued by Jeffrey Epstein's victims, the judge specifically noted in this case that there may be some trouble throughout the trial or the end result of this case because contract law and some of the wording that's in the settlement. So it's going to be a little bit tricky, but nonetheless, the judge clearing the way for Epstein's trusted lawyer and his accountant to be sued by his victims. Anna?
Oh, it's just kind of ripping the scab off wounds for a lot of those victims, likely. Alicia Nieves, thank you so much. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Well, that sounds all great while the reporter is sitting there eating her hair. I was gonna say it's gonna be hard. It's got to be hard being on TV. Sort of. I don't have to worry about eating my own hair, but either way. So now they're eligible to go and sue these individuals connected to Jeffrey Epstein. That's great. They're like, oh, this is such a great thing. Now they can take him to court and get justice. Lawsuits are not the same thing as criminal punishment. If you sue somebody, you're going to get some doll hairs. They're not going to jail, though. I don't know what kind of closure they're thinking that these victims want. I mean, yeah, receiving $1 million must be great. But if somebody caused physical harm to you, generally money's not going to make that better. You want them to be incarcerated or, worse. But at least incarcerated. I don't think I'd let somebody molest me and be like, yeah, just give me a couple $100 and we'll call it a day. No, I don't think so. No, you better be in prison forever. Anyways, I just don't think it's as great as they're trying to make it sound. They should release the list. That's what they need to do. They want real justice. They need to air out the list of the bad guys. That's what they need to do. Or stop bringing his fucking name up. One or the other. Stop bringing up Epstein if you're not going to give us something to work with here. Allowing people to cause lawsuits ain't even a win. That ain't even a win. Who's got the fucking money to sue anybody? Have you seen the price of chicken? Okay? Like, this, come on, man. Either way, I'd like to see President Trump do something about this, but like he's already said, he doesn't really know if he's going to release Epstein stuff because he's worried about people's reputations, and so he's not sure if he'll release classified documents related to Epstein Island. And I hope he changes his mind about that, because that is one of many things that need to be kind of put out in the open there. Anyways, next up we got Rising... This title is all fucked up. This is about the people that are pissed off in England. But they've titled this, Rising Immigration Sparks Overflowing Outrage in England. This is a follow-up video, obviously. To all the mad people that are out in England, there was three children that were either stabbed or killed or both. Not really sure. But the individual that did it, everyone originally thought it was a border crosser, because they got border crosser problems over there just like we got over here. And so the news broke. The news told everyone it was a border crosser. Right-wingers were like, this is the fucking straw right here that broke the camel's back. So they hit the streets. They were like, enough is enough. You guys are killing us, which sounds really fucking familiar. And then news came out and was like, oh, it actually wasn't a border crosser. It's an individual who was born in Great Britain or whatever. A local. It's a local, basically. And the right-wingers like, we don't give a fuck. The problem is still the problem. Like... The border crosser problem is still a problem. So now that the gate's open, they're just doing the thing. So their news, very much like our news, is calling them a bunch of white supreme pizzas running in the street and all this stupid shit. They're not blaming border crossers. They're not blaming violence. They're not blaming anything. It's just white supreme, mad white people. Mad white people in the streets. That's what the news is saying over there. So, of course, we're covering it because that's what's going to happen here. That shit that's going on over there is going to end up happening here if we don't deport those illegal fuckers that we got here in the country right now. Anyways, that's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat and see what you hooligans think about that first video. Snooks, the 3 girls were stabbed and killed. Thank you for letting me know, Snooks. Yeah, I wasn't sure if they had died or not, but I knew that there was violent acts towards them. What's up, Cassandra? Happy freedom to you. Let's see, Russell, I'm sure not all the people on the list were clients. I agree, but I think that considering all politicians and elected officials or important people of any sort do a lot of talking. They do a lot of talking. They have press briefings and all kinds of shit. They make Twitter posts and news companies grab them and put them on display like it's some official announcement. So I feel like if they were to release the list for Epstein Island and it's got questionable ties on there, those fuckers should have to go out there and explain themselves. Why not? Why not? I cannot think of a legit reason to keep the bad guys related to Epstein a secret. I cannot justify that. There's no situation I can create in my head where I'm like, yeah, that's a good reason to not air out the bad guys connected to Epstein. Like, I just can't find a justifiable reason. I feel like this shit should be put out there in the open, and anybody who's questionable, whether it's Trump or anybody who's connected to that shit, they should have to explain themselves. Go out there and say why it is or how it is you were tied to that person. Make a statement and whatever's whatever. Because there's not going to be real justice if we don't know who the monsters are. Because they all look like the good guys. They're all smiling while stabbing us in the chest. So we're not going to figure it out unless we have the actual list, and they need to put it out there. And I'm worried about the ties with Trump, because I know that he was on the flight log or whatever, but there's no evidence that he ever went to the island, and I don't think he's a kid fucker or anything like that. But for him to kind of back out when being asked during an interview if he would release the Epstein files, and he was like, yeah, actually, no, maybe not, probably not, because reputations. I don't like that. I don't like that. If he's worried about his reputation, he should speak for that. If he's worried about other people's reputation, he should set that down somewhere, because the victims matter more than the reputation of anybody connected to some wealthy kid fucker. You know, like I say all the time, people get in where they fit in. They hang out with people that are like them. If you're hanging out with kid fuckers, you know what I mean? Like that's not good. And so if you are and you're not a kid fucker, maybe you should explain that. You know, maybe it should come out and explain that. But either way, I would just like to see those monsters go down, because those people are the worst of the worst. Hurting kids and human trafficking and shit, these are real evil. You know, it's real evil on the earth. So I'd like to see some justice for that. But either way. What's up, Cadillacs? Happy freedom. And I agree. If you have nothing to hide, then come out and explain yourself. Yeah. I understand that certain situations can look sticky, and wealthy people know a bunch of wealthy people, not personally, but on a business level. And people do corrupt shit all the time. Look at the White House. And they come out and just blatantly say shit and nobody does anything. So I don't understand why we can't get justice for the individuals that were hurt by Epstein and his compadres just because of reputations. You know, that seems silly. Seems silly. Tom, the FBI, CIA worked with him for years. They're not going to turn themselves in. Yeah, Tom. And then that's what I think too. There's too many big wigs connected. There'd be too many people with too much shit that they can't explain. The time we get the Epstein files will be the time they blame AI for the shit. You know, they'll release the documents, and then people will be like, hey, look at all these people. And they're going to be like, no, that's not the real documents. Those are AI generated bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And then act like it's not real. Act like all the evidence isn't real. That's totally what I believe. Breeze by you, no reason to keep the bad guys a secret. Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Beans, the best thing the British citizens could do to make their country better is to get rid of the royal family, because all they are is rich welfare case. Yeah, Mr. Beans. I don't even understand how their shit works over there. Because as far as I know, they have a government, but then they got the royal family. And I don't know how those two things work together, because if you're a king, if you're ruling your country, what do you need a government for? So I don't really understand how that stuff works over there. I don't pay enough attention to it. Breeze by you, fuck their reputations. Yeah, for real. Russell, lock them up. Yeah, they're trying to sue them. Oh, these people are accused of molesting, individuals and human trafficking. Let's sue them for doll hairs. What? That's not justice. We're going to fee and fine them to death. That's nothing. RK got a notification KJP will be speaking. Yeah, we're not covering the White House press briefing today. I just figured there wouldn't be... there's always something going on with the press briefing, but it's usually more exciting to cover a press briefing right after Blue Team does something terribly fucking stupid. They go out there and do something so damning. And then we watch the press briefing because we like to watch KJP squirm as she avoids answering questions that really need some answers. And we haven't had a moment like that at least a week or so. Not that I can remember. So I saw that Snooks had sent me that the press briefing was going on today, but I was like, it'll probably be same old. What's up, Salty Ragu? Happy freedom. Let's see. Sodium boobies. Mr. Beans, you crack me up. Mr. Beans, God wouldn't be protecting Trump if he was a pedophile. Yeah, I don't think President Trump's a pedophile. Paul, they allow a democratic government, it can be taken away. Oh, is that how it works, Paul? They have like a pretend government over there in the UK, and if the king doesn't like it, he just executive orders the shit. Zupia, they did something stupid. They appointed Tim Walz as a running mate. Yeah, Zupia, but I don't think that they think that's a bad thing. It's when something happens that everyone thinks is a bad thing. That's when it's normally a good time to run to the press briefing. Like when old man Walter falls in front of everyone. Or gets on the plane that the prisoners just got off of and stuff. If we would have covered the press briefing right after that, it probably would have been kind of entertaining. But as far as I know, there hasn't been anything too embarrassing for them. They don't feel shame. So embarrassment is very seldomly felt on their end. Reading through. Matthew, I want a republic. It's the king's government. Yeah, Matthew, it's interesting. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to read about that stuff, because I never really thought, how does that work? I know there's a government, and then I also know there's the royal family, and I'm like, I never thought about them, how they work together. What's up, Thistlebeard? Happy freedom. Salty Ragu. We should get a Hooligan Island, and we'll call it Subaru. Salty Ragu. If we could afford an island, the parties we would throw, it would be amazing. It would be amazing. And it'd be patriotic as fuck. And we'd be on an island so everyone could bring their own flag. It'd be great. It'd be great. Welcome to Hooliganville. And if we consider ourselves a different country, then the government will give us free money. They'll send us all those Ukrainian dollars. It'll be awesome. Mary Todd, is Jeff using Truth to stream to? I can't stream to Truth Social, Mary Todd. They won't let me. They won't let me stream to Truth. They won't let me stream to Getter. There's another one too. I can't remember, but I can't stream to Truth. I think you have to have a license contract with Truth, because it seems like the individuals that are streaming on Truth are companies. They're not like regular live streamers. They're big companies and stuff. I'd probably have to give them $10,000 in order for them to allow me to go live on Truth. Otherwise, I would. Mary Todd, reason he probably said no to the list release is because he needs to wait till he's in charge. Well, then why would he say yes to the other two lists? They were like, would you release the 9/11 shit? And he was like, yeah. They were like, what about the JFK assassination? He was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, and I already did release half those classified documents. They were like, what about Epstein? He was like, yeah. Actually, no, wait, hold on. Not really sure about that. Maybe, we'll see. Like he did, I don't know, it was a bunch of backpedaling, and I didn't like that at all. And people hate that I bring it up, but I live in the real world. I don't have political loyalty or any goofy shit like that. No political party has ever done great things for me. So what's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong, and that's how I do shit. I don't play red team, blue team shit. So I don't know. I hope he changes his mind. I hope when he gets in office, he's like, you know what? Fuck them people and release the list, you know? I'm sure he knows what he's doing. It's a Pag. Happy freedom. What do we got going on here? Something. I don't know if we got trolls or what that is. Mark, agree with that being sus. Yeah, we'll see how it goes though. Time will tell, you know? Happy freedom, LL. LL, they're already starting to blame AI for a lot of stuff, just like removing the Trump photo for misinformation. Zuckerberg blamed it on AI. Yeah, LL, and they keep saying that AI is going to steal the election. They keep saying that over and over again. That Americans are too stupid to know the difference between an official campaign advertisement or AI-generated memes. Apparently, Americans are too fucking stupid to be able to do that. That's what the news is saying. Although I don't think it's true. I think most people can spot AI stuff on top of it coming from an official account, right? You see an ad or a video of some sort from an elected official, and it comes from their account where they got this special little check mark. That's kind of how you know it's real. Now, if an official account posts AI-generated content that's propaganda, still official account. But no, they don't talk about that shit. They're just like, oh no, the dumb Americans, they're going to fall for the AI-generated propaganda, and it's going to steal the election. Like, okay, but who's it going to steal it for? Is it going to make AI the president? Like, nothing they say makes sense when it comes to this AI shit. And AI is not that fucking great. I have access to all kinds of AI shit. And I'm one person running 28 lines, 28 jobs. I have 28 jobs. When I go do my taxes, I have to file taxes as if I own 28 businesses. I could use some help. A little bit of fucking help would go a long way. AI is not even smart enough to help me. Anytime I try to use AI for anything, image creation, video creation, writing a script, fucking spell check, it doesn't work. It's trash. It's fucking garbage. It's worse than having a calculator, but somehow it's going to steal the election. Like, whatever. Whatever. So we're going to get on to this next video here. This is the mad people in the streets over in England because of border crossers. Now they got this goofed up title here, and it's titled Rising Immigration Sparks Overflowing Outrage.
Tonight's red hot
That's how
story,
it's
outrage
labeled
and
in
riots
England.
broken out.
Now, I think that's piss poor wording there, and I'm kind of surprised that it is, considering it's Newsmax that wrote that fucking title. But the content itself is not that bad. This individual who is speaking here, he's actually got a brain. So although the title sucks ass, he acknowledges this is propaganda that is coming out of England, that there are some similarities between what's happening there and what's happening here. And this is our follow-up to the mad people in England. So let's get this rolling, and don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble.
Tonight's red hot story, outrage and riots have broken out in the United Kingdom, the UK, after 3 little girls, ages 9 years old, 7 years old, and 6 years old, were massacred, murdered, killed in a knife attack at a Taylor Swift themed dance party for little girls. The suspect, whose name is Alex Muganwa Ruda Kubana, who was born in Rwanda, known for one thing and one thing only, Rwanda. His parents came from Rwanda. He was born in Wales. His name wasn't released for a number of days because he's 17 years old, and that fueled suspicion that the attacker was a radical Islamic migrant, like we've seen so many other times, so many other knife attacks across Europe that have been downplayed by the left, which is always the case. In lockstep, the protesters, who now face up to 10 years in prison, have been branded by the media and some in the government there as anti-immigrant, far-right white extremists. Sounds a little bit familiar, doesn't it? I think we've heard the same language here. Not to, mention, though, that the emboldened, armed Muslim migrants are now roaming the streets, beating up people. Sky News even cut their feed, a live reporter out on the street when this happened.
Community leaders have been speaking to the police as well because...
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
But I think, apologies for the language you're hearing, but I think you can hear there.
Yeah, Katie, I think Becky, I apologise. We need to leave you there.
Foreigners doing the trigger finger always cracks me up because I know they don't have guns.
And I got to tell you, I was in London yesterday, and I was talking to a British man in his 70s, and he brought this up, the murder of the 3 little girls, and how the country is being overrun by huge numbers of migrants who cover their faces and wear hoodies and attack people on the streets and have disdain for the culture there. And the country is at a boiling point.
Well, I mean, these are policy conversations that need to happen, but they're not being able to happen, especially in the UK, because of the Communications Act of 2003, which basically says that any electronic communication, either on Facebook or whatnot, is arrestable if someone finds them grossly offensive or indecent or false for the purpose of causing annoyance, inconvenience, or needless anxiety to another person. So this has been a lot of right-wing groups, people who want to limit immigration, have been characterized as that, and then they've been thrown in jail basically for racist Facebook posts or, selling anti-immigrant stickers, and it's causing a lot of anxiety, and you see it boiling up on the streets. Is violence the right way? No, but the fact that they're having the First Amendment stifled, the government is siding with all of these Muslim groups, or they didn't arrest an Asian gang for fear of being labeled racist,
right.
which was basically for over 16 years had hundreds of thousands of girls molested them. So these are the things that are happening in Europe right now, and it's bubbling up.
And Jason, the news over there, they're showing this mob in the street, that mob. They have Antifa out there. They're carrying Palestinian flags and Hamas flags. The so-called right-wing radicals are carrying British flags and Israeli flags. The world is on fire.
Yeah, I think it's a problem. Particularly, it started with this disinformation that this guy was a migrant, and then
it started with the murders of 3 little girls.
Right, but the murders were carried out by a British person, a person who was born in Great Britain.
To Rwandan parents.
Right. So if you have immigrant parents, you're still someone who is from the place that you were born. He was born and raised in Great Britain.
I think his parents brought their values with them, too.
My point is that, when you have this rhetoric that it was an undocumented or illegal alien, and then they start burning down hotels with babies and children in them. The first thing that happened was absolutely horrific, and I hope that person gets everything that they deserve. But, when you start burning down hotels, I think it's, it's something, violence should be condemned all the way around.
Joining me now, the man.
Well, like I said, they're out there spreading that propaganda and shit. Eventually, we won't be able to hear what's going on over there. That's how it was in Australia. Australia went into COVID lockdowns, and they had camps where people were volunteering to go into these closed communities to live in a trailer for 2 weeks as their patriotic duty for their country and shit. And when that stuff started coming out and Americans were seeing these people basically being held in COVID camps, people were starting to question that shit. And as soon as that happened, YouTube took all that shit down. And the only way you could see what was happening in Australia was by watching TikTok, because our government censors all platforms except for TikTok because they don't have control over TikTok. And so you could go to TikTok and watch this shit happen, but on every other platform, you just saw clueless Americans who had no idea that this was going on. And I'm waiting to see if that's what they're going to do with this, because the more that what's going on over there looks like something that applies to shit going on here, the more influential that is. And if the government becomes concerned about Americans being in the streets pissed off about border crossers, they may cut us off from that information so we're not able to see it. However, our government wants us to do that. They want white mad people in the fucking streets. That's why they've been saying at the Pentagon for over 4 years that the biggest threat to democracy is white supreme pizzas. White supremacy is the #1 problem in America. The Pentagon keeps repeating it. Even though it's not true, you don't see that shit anywhere. There's no symptoms of that being true. But they just keep repeating it, because one day they're going to cross that line and there's going to be mad people in the streets and they're going to go, look, we're right. And that's what they want. So I'm not sure if they're going to cut us off from England and all of that stuff or not. It depends on how things go. Because if it looks like it ain't going in their favor, they'll cut off the information. We'll think it's all over, but over there there'll still be fire going on. However, if it looks like a good influence and we start acting that way, and maybe they could hit us with martial law or do something like that, and if that's what they want, they'll just go ahead. They might even amp it up. They might put it on every TV just so we see it, so we might imitate that behavior. So we got like 2 paths in front of us, but it's really interesting to see these people that are out there in England because of the fact that it wasn't a border crosser that killed those kids. And so some people are saying, oh, this was just an opportunity for right-wingers to act violent, and other people are saying this has been a long time coming. And so we'll see how it all ends, or we won't if censorship gets the better of them. The other part of this that's really fucked up is the fact that they're arresting people because of posts on Facebook. Like, I don't even really understand that, because nobody is forced to use social media, but all of us use it. And then you can now be criminally punished for using it. Now, it's not as common here to have that happen. You make memes of Hillary Clinton, you might go to prison. But usually, at very most, you're going to get a knock on the door by a 3-letter agency. over there, they're being arrested. They're being arrested for posting on social media. So, like, why would you even do it? You know, but maybe that's the incentive. Don't post how bad it is in England, or else we'll arrest you because you're telling the world how bad things are. So, I assume we will have more follow-up videos on this subject. Next up, we got squad member loses Democratic primary to pro-Israel candidate. This is Cory Bush is now gone, and she's a douchebag, so it's a good thing. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat. And before we do that, I want to remind you guys, if you would like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord as well as jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out as we're making Saturdays more fun. I'm going to read through the chat and we're going to hear how Cory Bush loses because she's a loser. Seldrago, you can get in trouble for making Hillary memes? Shit. Yeah, there's somebody serving prison time right now for it. Mr. Beans and Beans, I'm German, Slovakian, English. I'm a lot of things. I'm mostly Italian. But I'm Polish and Scottish. I'm trying to think what else. A couple other things. Mostly Italian, though. Breeze Value, Cory is stupid. Yeah. And she says some really stupid shit after she lost. I'm pretty sure she had lost, knew she lost, and then went out there and made statements about making the Congo safe again and a bunch of other places that are not America, and crying really hard. She was crying really hard. Russell Clinton would just suicide you. Yeah. Yeah. If she can reach you, she'll get you. Hit you with that heart attack gun. Saldragu, I'm not white, I'm Irish and Italian. That makes me black twice. Me too, buddy. We're going to be in the COVID camp together. It's going to be awesome. What's up, Mercy Rain? Happy freedom. Mercy Rain, I assume, well, my BF, we'll go with that. I'm not going to make assumptions. My BF is in Aussie, and they are so brainwashed there. Slaves to the mainstream media. Yeah, Mercy Rain, that's what it was looking like when I was seeing those videos when they were volunteering to go into the camps. They were volunteering to stay in a hut for 2 weeks and eat meals on wheels for the greater good. And they were bragging about it. They were making videos. They were like, yeah, I'm doing my patriotic duty right now. Blah, blah, blah. And like, oh, you joined the military? Well, no, I'm sitting on my ass in a shed. It's got air conditioning. And I've been eating fucking TV trays for 11 days now. 3 more days. And I'll be doing my patriotic duty. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me with that shit? You just complied. Around here, the people who comply, they wear masks. But in Australia, they sign up to go into the camp. I'm like, holy shit. Say you comply louder. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Breeze Value, that's why they're against TikTok. Yeah, it's control. Not that, short form content's really great for us. It's not. It lowers our attention span. But you can't say one part of the problem is all the problem. All social media is bad. They're just like, oh, TikTok's real bad. No, it's all bad. It's all just as bad as the other one. TikTok just can't be controlled by the censorship machine here in America. That's it. Otherwise, it's all dog shit. Except for jeffmaclive.com. That's the best social media you could ever join. But everything else is trash. That's all I know. Russell, censorship at its finest. It is. And it's just blatant. It's just blatant. And like I'm saying, eventually they may just cut us off. We might not even be able to see these videos next week. Saldragu, for a good time, call 1-900-CAMILLA. No, thank you. No, thank you. RK, I'm German and Polish, so I'm constantly trying to gas myself. My goodness. My goodness. YouTube's like, what'd you say? What'd you say? Trying to figure out how to strike me. What's up, Sam? Happy freedom. Snooks, you're looking dang fine again today. Well, thank you, Snooks. I appreciate it. I actually feel terrible right now. I'm gonna sleep so hard after this. What's up, Proud Ankle? Happy freedom. Are you not able to get in the chat? I see you on the comments. Oh, Proud Ankle, if you're watching, you can't see the chat because you're on the phone. There should be a button that says open chat or view chat or something. I've only been on my phone a couple times while watching lives on Rumble, but I don't think the chat opens automatically. It might be different now, but usually when I see people in the comments while we're live, it's because they can't find the chat. Your mother was a hamster. Cory Bush was my least favorite member of Congress, and I am happy as fuck that she lost her job. Yeah, they all need to go. They need to go. People who are not serious about America really shouldn't be an elected official, and I think that just makes sense. Astrohammer, they tried to assassinate Trump. Nobody talks about it. Don't forget. Yep, you're right. J13 was the darkest day of our democracy. I'm still waiting for the damn Democrats to go out there and say that shit. Every time a squirrel farts, it's the darkest day of democracy. President Trump gets shot in the ear. Crickets. So stupid. So stupid. Puffin Stuff. Musk supports the protests in the UK. Yeah. Well, he's using it as an opportunity to rah for free speech. I mean, he censors people on his platform. Not him specifically, but his workers, because he's got liberal workers running X. So every couple weeks, you'll just see a group of conservatives just get banned for no reason. And you'll see these big-ass accounts like Cat Turd and shit will be tagging Elon and saying, hey, why is so-and-so banned? Hey, why is so-and-so banned? And then their accounts will come back. Because there is still censorship on X. And that shit worries me because I don't have enough reach. If something happened to me, I couldn't just tag Elon and be like, hey, fix the shit. It ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. He ain't checking that post. So, I don't know. But anytime there's an opportunity to talk about free speech, Elon just appears. He just teleports in from one of his rockets and rah, free speech. So, that's what he does. DCAT, I told you this is England's George Floyd moment. It's all make-believe, but everybody's out in the streets burning shit and fighting. It's all hypocrisy, in my opinion. Yeah, DCAT, I'm not sure what the right move is. I'm trying to figure out, should they even be in the streets or should they not be in the streets? You know, I'm trying to put it like if it was to happen here. We've had Lake and Riley. We've had, all these people have been kidnapped, robbed, raped, terrible things, right? Killed by border crossers. People are pissed. People feel helpless. Say a big situation happens. 3 children are slayed at a Taylor Swift event. She wasn't present, but it was a Taylor Swift themed event. 3 children get slain that day. Mainstream media says it was border crossers that did it. Americans hit the streets pissed off. 2 days later, they come out and say, that was a mistake. It wasn't a border crosser. It was a local from Miami or some shit. Should everyone go back home? Or should they continue to burn shit down? Because the reason they're burning shit down is still a problem. Yeah, the most recent people murdered were not murdered by border crossers, but the ones before them were. Is it just to stay in the streets and burn shit down? Or should you take your ass home because it was a giant misunderstanding? And that's what I've been trying to figure out, and it's hard to say. I feel like it's so situational. Normal Times. Want to see more of this in the U.S.? Vote Democrat. That's right, Normal Times. That's exactly how we get it. If we don't get the Orange Eagle in office, that shit's going to be here. Black White Bull. There's an island for sale in Scotland. Better get it quick. Yeah, Black White Bull. You just ask them how much they want for it. We'll throw a couple doll hairs on it. And then we'll mark a spot. We'll put Klaus on the island, and then nobody else can buy it. And be like, no, we claimed it. It's like, when you throw a chair on a campsite, we just put the Klaus on the island, and he'll be good. He'll guard the island until we can move everyone over there. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a good time. Wayward, I tag Elon for you, but it still doesn't work. Yeah, Wayward, eventually it will, though. We got to just keep trying. You throw enough shit at the wall, something's got to stick. What's up, Killer J? Happy freedom. Oh, Proud Ankle, I see. Well, I appreciate you being with us. Let's see here. Come on, YouTube. Move the thing so I can see. Laura, if you're white... Let me see. Damn stupid... Whatever the hell this thing is. The emoji thing's in the way. I can't read the fucking chat. If you're white and Christian, you're fair game. Yeah. More or less, that's how it goes. Vila, TV trays, you're showing your age. Oh, they don't make TV trays anymore? What do they do now? Yes, they do. I've seen that shit. WMM has, what's her name? Marie Cullender cooking his dinners every night. I'm always jealous of that shit because I can't eat it. It gives me the shits. I'm like, nah, I can't be eating that. He's like, Marie's cooking me dinner tonight. I'm like, come on, man. Come on, man. I hope he's here so he could be all pissed at me. Anyways, let's get on to this next one. This is squad member loses Democratic primary to pro-Israel candidate. Oh, Cory Bush is gone. All right, hooligans, let's get this started. And don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble.
Voters in a deep blue district in eastern Missouri showing the door to progressive Congresswoman Cory Bush.
I miss her already. She's now the second squad member to be ousted by constituents who are fed up with the anti-Israeli rhetoric and the defund the police rhetoric.
Yeah, Israeli organizations spent a lot of money to make sure she didn't win. Carly Shimkus is here with all the details for us. Hey, Carly.
Hey, good morning to you guys. Yeah, that's right. Bush lost last night's primary to St. Louis County Prosecutor Wesley Bell, who was the more moderate candidate. Bell defeated the squad member with more than 51% of the vote, bringing an end to a contentious and expensive House race.
This isn't just about campaigning and adults talking and negative messaging, but our kids are watching.
Yes, they are. Yes.
And what we say matters. This district is ready for better.
Sounds like Hyena Harris.
Accountable representation in Washington, D.C. Progressives should actually make progress.
Bell getting the win thanks in part to the backing of several pro-Israel groups. Bush is now the second squad member to lose their primary after Congressman Jamal Bowman suffered a similar loss to a pro-Israel Democrat in New York. But the soon-to-be former Congresswoman says she's not going anywhere.
AIPAC, I'm coming to tear your kingdom down. And let me put all of these corporations on notice. I'm coming after you too. We will keep supporting a free Palestine, a free Congo, a free Sudan, and keep opposing genocide and human rights abuses worldwide.
And Bell will face off against either Republican Andrew Jones or Stan Hall in November. The GOP primary has not been called, but Jones is currently leading by just under 200 votes. So that's a close one, guys. Over to you.
It is indeed. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well, it's about time. I mean, I think it's great for the country. A Democrat beat a Democrat. But that squad mentality of anti-Americanism, socialism, activism, pro-Israeli. We're watching AOC and Ilhan Omar walk with the Columbia rioters and campers, anti-Israel, walk with it and praise them and ridicule President Biden for his support of Israel, which has been wavered now because he's trying to win over the left at the same time. And I think the message sent, Jamal Bowman, an embarrassment to New York, gone. And now Cory Bush never backed off her anti-police, defund the police rhetoric. Every time that Joe Biden would say, I'm not for that, my party's not for that, she'd go, oh, yes, I am. Right. Now she's gone.
Tim Walz shares a lot of her same values and a lot of her same beliefs.
Well, and that's one of the reasons it is suggested that Josh Shapiro did not wind up with the nod, because the people who were pushing for Mr. Walz was saying, oh, you're talking about that guy who's got the pro-Israeli stand? Genocide Josh you're talking about? So it's interesting to see how that dynamic is working out in the Democratic Party. I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm
Yep. Like I said, she's a douchebag. Yelling, praying for a free Palestine, a free Congo. They all sound exactly the same. They all talk exactly the same. I don't know if they just go and sit their genitals into the brainwashing machine or what they fucking do, but they sound the same. Their speech patterns are so similar. Every time a Democrat talks, they sound exactly the same. They're either talking about freeing a foreign country while not mentioning shit about us, or they're condemning other people who are usually on the right side of things. And they're not just condemning them, but putting them in the crosshairs. You know, that kind of talk. Like she's saying, oh, I'm going to put these companies on notice. We're coming for you. We're going to do shit to you. Blah, blah. Could you imagine if Republicans did that? We're coming for you. We're coming to do shit to you. That's what they worry everyone about. They're like, oh, the conservatives, they're coming to get you. Yeah, but the Democrats are literally saying that. They're literally saying that. But no, you got to worry about the right-wing people. You got to worry about the people who don't riot. You got to worry about the people who don't burn shit down. You got to worry about the people who are not committing most of the crime in the fucking country. You got to worry about the people who keep moving the goalpost. You got to worry about the people who are not stealing the election. You know, like it's fucking stupid. Democrats are the fucking worst. The Democrat leaders are the worst. And the Democrat voters smell the worst. So, anyways. Next up, we got Pakistani man's assassination threats are frightening, says Laura Trump. I fuck this up every time because I can't read. But anyways, that's what's coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat. See what your hooligans think about losing Cory Bush. I know some of you guys are heartbroken. Just heartbroken. Russell, that bush got shaved. Why can I smell it? Like, why reading out that? I can smell it. It's not good. It's not good, I tell you. It's reading through. Breeze by You representing America while talking about everywhere else? No. Yeah, Breeze by You. And I'm interested to see what the replacement's like. Because, like I said, Democrat leaders are terrible. They're just terrible. I haven't seen one that was worth anything yet. So I'm really interested to see what the replacement's like. Are they as radical? Or are they just soft and stupid and they just sit there quietly with their tampon inside their pee hole? Matt, the Middle East will never be fixed. You can't fix people that don't want to be fixed. You know, you can't help people that don't want help. You can't. So it's dumb when people are like, oh, the place that's been at war since humans have walked the earth. Yeah, let's worry about them. They're blowing each other up. Why do we have to worry about that? We got problems. Like, somebody should inform these people. We got problems too. You guys want to worry about problems? We got our own. You don't have to worry about that shit. We got our own problems. Somebody needs to inform them. Saltaregu, I could fix the Middle East. I'll sit down with the leaders in a bag of shrooms. That's going to go an interesting way. I can tell you that, Saltaregu. Matt, you have a microphone. Stop yelling, bitch. Yeah, for real. I'm blowing out that microphone. Snooks. Yeah, support those terrorist countries. So smart. And then the people cheering in the background. The dumb leading the dumber. RK, that bush looks like a tumbleweed. Why is there so many crabs in it? Never mind. D-Cat, are you saying that your apartment smells like rotten fish? I'm just saying what you said. I didn't. Laugh out loud. It's dusty. Why does it smell like a dusty ooh-ah? I don't know. Shaving that bush just didn't sound right. It took me off like a spaceship. Plastic Crack. Cory Bush. Is that her name or what she smells like? It's hard to say. It is hard to say. She's got the face of a linebacker, too. She looks like a dude. And dudes in dresses ain't foreign to the Democratic Party. Pumpkin. Bush didn't do a single thing for St. Louis in the last 4 years. I believe it. I totally believe that. Told to care. World peace, gangster style. Is that what it was? It was like world peace by force. We're going to make you guys free. How you going to do that? We're going to send money to the Ukraine. Oh, okay. Whatever you say. Paul, play Corey Feldman guitar solo. I'll end up getting copyright problems with fucking Twitch. Pumpkin, she's a loser. She is a loser. She's a sore loser. That's why she's screaming into that microphone. Pumpkin, no, she wouldn't survive Gaza. No. None of these people would. These people can't survive a 20-minute wait in the Starbucks line, let alone go into a fucking war zone. They're like, yeah, free Palestine. Like, what do you mean? You can't tolerate people wearing Trump hats. You can go to a war zone. Like, come on. You know, these fucking protesters. It's what it's like when your brain's undeveloped. You know? What's up, Stern? Happy freedom. Guess who? Free Hogwarts. Yeah. She was trying to free everybody. She was like, Oprah, you're going to be free and you're going to be free. Cracks me up. Somebody is losing their mind outside. I don't know if you can hear this. There is a young man screaming outside that we're all going to burn and we're all going to fucking die. Like somebody is losing their mind probably 20 yards from my fucking slider here. We'll see how this goes. I don't know what's going on. There's an individual, a young individual, who is got mental things going on. And he listens to a headset and he sings music while he's on the swings. Most of the time it's rap music. I can tell because I can identify certain lyrics he's singing. But he's shouting them normally. And like I said, he's got something going on with him. So I don't bother him. I acknowledge he's got something going on. I'll let him be. You know, it's better he's out here swinging and singing music than whatever. But if he's out there screaming we're all going to die and shit, like, I'm going to have to keep an eye on what's going on here. So if shots ring out or whatever, just know I'm keeping an eye on things. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Hopefully it's not somebody fighting with his wife, because usually they mean it. They get that goddamn mad. It's not good. So anyways. Shit posting. Know anybody covering the British protest today? No. I don't. You'd have to look on TikTok. It'll probably be banned everywhere else. That's like even when the pro-Hamas protesters were protesting on campus, the only place you could see it was TikTok. They didn't show it anywhere else. Everywhere else it gets taken down. Salty Ragu, point the camera. I will, if things go off, I will find a way. I have a webcam and it's got a 6-foot cord and it's mounted to the top of my monitor. Otherwise, I would do more panning, like Klaus Daniels is sleeping right now, but I can't show you because if I move the camera, it's gonna fuck everything up. But if Crazy Pants outside is gonna start losing his marbles, we're gonna work some shit out. Hair Juicer, go interview him. We'll see. I'm gonna wait for him to stop yelling. Unless the gunshots start, and then if that happens, we're not going to interview him. Maybe when the police show up, we'll go out there and stick a camera in his face. Why'd you do it? Why'd you do it? Mr. Beans, maybe he used up all his EBT benefits. I don't know. I am curious. So when we get this video started, I'm gonna go look out the slider and make sure we're all okay here, because somebody is losing their marbles outside. I'm not going to help them find them, but I'm going to make sure that me and Klaus are okay. I know that. He ain't going to be shooting in my direction. Fuck that shit. SEAL Team 6 here. They better watch themselves. Anyways, next up, we are getting into Pakistani man's assassination threats are frightening, says Lara Trump. I need to pay attention so I know how to say her name. Let's get this rolling. Don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble. I'm going to check on the slider. I'm going to step away for a second, but I'll be right back.
Joining us now is Republican National Committee co-chair Lara Trump. Good morning, Lara. Great to see you.
Hey, good morning, Anna.
So we'll get to the walls joining the ticket story in just a moment. But first, a big headline this morning also is that a Pakistani man who recently spent time in Iran has been charged after allegedly plotting to kill U.S. leaders, including your father-in-law. How is this sitting with you guys a month after the assassination attempt?
Yeah, I mean, look, none of us in our family, obviously, I don't think many people in this country will shake what we saw happen to Donald Trump not too long ago. You know, July 13th is a day that we will all remember. It wasn't even a month ago. But it's frightening. You know, you always know that these people exist out there, that this is a possibility and it's a threat. But I can tell you, after that assassination attempt, Anna, I've never seen Donald Trump more focused on winning than he is right now. I think he believes, and I think a lot of people believe, he got a second chance at life. He was spared, he will tell you, by the grace of God, from that assassin's bullet. And he is very focused on making sure he becomes the next president of the United States. So nothing will stop him. Nothing will get in his way. I don't think he actually can think about those sorts of things. But I can tell you, as a family member, we think about it a lot. The great news is I do believe he's got an amazing team of people around him protecting him at all times.
I can't imagine what it must have felt like for you. You know, to most people, he's this political creature, but to you, he's your kid's grandfather. The Middle East is really at a tipping point this morning. Why do you think Trump is better suited to handle tensions there than Harris?
How much time do we have, Anna? I mean, first of all, Donald Trump himself will tell you the situation on October 7th with Hamas invading and murdering Israelis would never have happened under his watch. You look at the fact that you have Iran that was able to enrich itself because of our bad energy policies here in America. Joe Biden did the first thing when he took office, shutting down the Keystone XL pipeline. It took away our energy independence. It allowed our adversaries around the world like Russia and Iran to enrich themselves. And Israel also very clearly had an incredibly strong ally in the United States when Donald Trump was president. There would be no question whether or not we would back them up. And I think right now what you've seen is the vacuum left by America kind of towing the line and not sure where we stand in our support for Israel has allowed this to happen. The funding of Iran, of course, has allowed Hamas to get the money that they needed to cause this invasion and escalate this war. It's a shame. It never should have happened. And I think a lot of people would like to hear from Kamala Harris. How would she deal with this? Unfortunately, Anna, Kamala Harris in the 17 days since she was coronated as the Democrats' nominee hasn't done a single interview. We haven't heard from her except in very scripted teleprompter settings.
Well, her argument for that would likely be she's been busy picking her vice presidential running mate.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to join.
Yes, well, that is on the assassination attempt, Trump and all that stuff. Let me see here where we are. I went and looked out the slider, but I didn't see anything. There's a child crying, but they may be unrelated. I don't know. I am prepared to deal with whatever I have to deal with. It depends how far they want to take it. I'm prepared for certain things, so if I start hearing gunshots or something, we'll probably have to end the live, but I will go record everything. And we'll see about interviewing the guy, depending on how things go. But either way. That was, and I didn't catch her name. I don't know if it's Laura Trump, but she's talking about Pakistani man's assassination threats are frightening. And I think it's interesting how they talk about all of this, because I saw a video where they were saying that President Trump wasn't mentioned in the list. They just assumed that he was one of the targets. And then in this video, they didn't really say that. They were just like, oh yeah, no, he was making threats against President Trump and stuff. And there's been lots of talk that we can expect more attempts on President Trump, and kind of already assume that, considering the government was unsuccessful the first time they tried it. So I don't know. I really wish they would just give that shit up, but we all know the world's an evil place. Anyways, next up we have Vice President Harris calls Governor Tim Wells to ask him to be her running mate. Now this is just an ad or something that Hyena Harris had put out, but it's so terribly cringy that I figured we could watch it and then just talk a whole bunch of shit about her, because fuck her. And Tim Walz. Anyways, that's coming up next, but first I want to remind you guys, if you would like to join the membership program over on Rumble, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and you're using the Rumble app, you're unable to see the big red subscribe button. So go to rumble.com, come to the live, hop in the chat, and like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble Hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We have chapstick emojis, screaming goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live, so definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. Like I said, we're going to be getting into this advertisement by Hyena Harris, just so we can talk shit about her, as if we didn't have enough material to go with. But first, we're going to read through the chat and see what you hooligans think about that Pakistani guy making threats. Like, how come he doesn't have a name? Why is he just the Pakistani guy? That's fucking stupid. It's so weird how things are manipulated instead of it just being copy and paste. Treat everyone equally, and the media can't do that. Russell, we need tanks and mushrooms on Hooligan Island. No taken, Russell. No taken. I agree. I agree. What is this, Breeze? I need one of these for Klaus Daniels. He would probably destroy it, though. He'd be like, nah. On my soil? He'd wreck the damn thing. This guy here, Tom. Oh, you got the Google Translator? Look at that. So if you translate Hyena Harris, it translates to horrible. Or Camilla. That's it. You have to type in Camilla in Finnish, in English means horrible. I knew it. That's a good one, Tom. Appreciate your research. Russell, Trump is not safe. Yeah, not from the government. And I think it's pretty interesting. They're telling him, like, stop having rallies outside. And he's like, no, I'm not going to stop having rallies outside. That's how the commies win. That's how they win. They don't want us to rally. Having us stop rallying outside is them winning. And I agree. I really hope that President Trump would just hire his own fucking security. You can't trust security supplied by the people trying to kill you. That doesn't make sense. Like, Secret Service, I know he's saying they're great and all, and I think he has to do that just so they're on his side when he gets back into the Oval Office. But he needs to make them work with his own hired private security, because he shouldn't be trusting those people. Hair Juicer, that guy fled the U.S. and was arrested on July 12th. Interesting, Hair Juicer. I didn't notice that. So it happened before the assassination attempt even happened. Breeze by You, they don't want us to know who the bad guys are. Yeah. And the Epstein list is a great example of that. Salregu Camilla, finish. Yeah. That's how you translate it. I'm done, and that was horrible. That's most common review on her Yelp reviews. Just saying. You want a BJ? It's not worth it. Knock on that door. What's up, Green Falcon? Happy freedom. Chum girl. Trump's got big nads. Yep. Supia, can we also have marijuana fields and cocaine beaches? You got to have that green thumb. You know, that's part of the deal there. You got to be able to grow the plants, you know? Kids screaming outside better not be from violence. Now I'm all cautious about what's going on. Whoever was yelling outside was for real losing their marbles. It kind of sounded like Alex Jones a little bit. It's like, the world's gonna fucking end and we're all gonna die. And I'm like, hold on, I gotta close the slider really quick. The crazies are outside. Must be past noon. They've woken up. Paul, get Klaus a Roomba with a cam. That's an interesting idea. I wonder how he would interact with it. Appreciate you, Sawdog. Oh, yes, I just remembered something. Hypernova still can't get over what a massive fuck up that was from Secret Service. Yeah. Well, I think they were in on it. I think all those people were in on it. I think the mistake was the shooter missed. I think that was the only thing that didn't go to plan that day, is the shooter missed. Because those people weren't saving shit. 4 of those Secret Service people were shitting their pants and cowering. You know, and I mean, it's understandable to be scared while you're being shot at. It's a pretty fucking natural reaction. But when you're Secret Service, also known as bullet sponges, you're not supposed to be letting the target get shot, you know? So, it's all bad. It's all bad. Stern, I think it means horrible in English too. I think you're right, Stern. So what does Harris mean? Well, it's just another word for something that's terrible. Took a Harris shit earlier. It was awful. It's too much. It's too much. Goodness. Oh, you know how we keep covering Caroline Leavitt or Leavitt or whatever? She's one of the official speakers or spokesmen for the Trump team. Apparently, she's connected to Project 2025. Her and I'm trying to think. There's like 3 or 4 famous people that we actually cover on a regular basis that are all members of Project 2025. And so I don't think President Trump is going to enact Project 2025, but I can see the way that the blue team is connecting these dots to the normies to make it look like he is, because everyone that's interacting with President Trump is somehow connected to Project 2025. I don't think that means he's going to do what they tell him to do or whatever. I think it's kind of a coincidence more than anything else. I think these people who are connected to him and connected to Project 2025 are probably connected to other conservative and Republican related events, themes, groups, whatever, because a lot of them are just grifters. They're you know, career, I don't want to say politicians, but political figures. So they're going to be where the spotlight is, especially if it's for conservatives or Republicans. So I think it's kind of a coincidence in a certain sense. I don't think it's evidence that President Trump is going to rule on Project 2025 like the blue team is constantly saying right now. But I was surprised to see that Caroline is like an actual member of Project 2025, considering she is the spokesman for the Team Trump, or Trump team rather. But thought that was interesting. Not saying, you know, anything bad about these people, but I just thought that was interesting that they are actually tied to it. But anyways. Yeah, Casper, I understand. There's a lot of hooligans that get mad about saying the GD word, and I try not to say the GD word, but the other thing is that God's name is not God. And so to say the GD word isn't actually blasphemy. Just like swearing isn't cursing. People, it's manipulation coming from religious people. That's what that is. Because God listens to what happens to your heart, because God speaks to your heart. So your heart or your intentions are what matters. So if you say words, but you're not condemning God, it's not blasphemy. It's if you say it in a way that you mean it for these intentions, you are speaking from the heart, that you are now offending God, or you are committing sin, or you are cursing another individual, as in witchcraft or manipulation. Saying GD it is just words. It's just words. That's not his official name, and it wasn't my intentions or from the heart to condemn God or commit blasphemy. So the only reason I don't say the GD word is to accommodate hooligans that feel strongly about how they've been manipulated when it comes to their relationship with God. That's it. I don't actually believe in that shit. I believe in my relationship with God, and as the Bible says, God talks to your heart. When you speak from the heart, it is your intentions. Words are just words. It's your intentions that matter. But everyone's walking their own path, and everyone's got their own relationship with God, and I'm not going to say your relationship is wrong or anything like that. All I can say is sorry that I offended you by saying the GD word, and I could understand why you thumbs down my video for it. Salt Ragu, it's medicinal. Sir, that's a prostitute. Fucking love that. I want to see this again on Saturday. Is he in the gold Subaru? Like, I think he might be. I miss my gold Subaru. Fucking deer. Damn Bambi Al Qaeda. Anyways. Well, hooligans, let's get into this next one. This is nice and cringy. Try not to start drinking. It's gonna make you want to. Old Gobbleneck here. And why she got Lurch's coat on? Is that a man's body? The whole goal here is just to talk shit about her and Walls or whatever his name is. And that's it. Okay. So this is an actual advertisement. This isn't AI still in the election. From Hyena Harris. This is kind of like her phone call with the Obamas. And they're like, oh, we're calling to congratulate you on this staged phone call for being the selected Democrat because you weren't fucking elected for shit. And we got part 2 of that. This is her contacting Walls. And oh my God, it's so good to hear from you. And da-da-da-da-da. So anyways, hit that like button over on Rumble. Get ready to talk shit about these people.
Hi, this is Tim.
It's Kamala Harris. Good morning, Governor.
Good morning, Madam Vice President.
Listen, I want you to do this with me. Let's do this together. Would you be my running mate and let's get this thing on the road?
I would be honored, Madam Vice President. The joy that you're bringing back to the country, the enthusiasm that's out there, it'll be a privilege to take this with you across the country.
Well, let me tell you, I have just the utmost respect for you. I have really enjoyed our work together. You understand our country. You have dedicated yourself to our country in so many different and beautiful ways. And we're going to do this.
Look at the jowls just hanging.
And we're going to unify our country and remind everyone that we are fighting for the future for everyone. So let's get out there and get this done, okay?
Let's do it. Do the work in front of us. Let's win this thing.
That's right. All right, buddy. I'll see you soon. Take care. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
It's so grody. It's so grody. Why is it her shoulder pads are too much? She's got buffer shoulders than I got.
Let's do it.
And then this guy, he had to leave the children he's got locked in the basement just to make this fucking phone call here. Pretty sure that's a MAGA hat he's got on. You just can't see the words. And then if I could find it, she's doing a lot of teeth talking. I can't even get it. She's like talking through her teeth.
Unify, get this done.
Oh, right there. Yeah, it's just, I can't even do it. I can't even do it. She's talking through her teeth. It's scary. Like seething. It reminds me of seething. She's just all teeth and tongue. It's freaking me the fuck out. Anyways. It's all teeth and tongue. Who, Hyena Harris? Yeah. But no, we weren't doing that. Anyways. Let's see what's next on the menu, and we're going to read through the chat. Yes, Tampon Tim here, being a commie, got a little 8-second clip from a year ago when he was being interviewed on MSNBC. We might as well just play it really quick because they're two peds in a communism pod. So we'll just play this really quick, and then we will hop in the chat and see what you hooligans think about these two fucking commies. Let's get into this real quick. Like I said, it's only 8 seconds long. This is a real video. This is not AI. This is not bullshit. It is from a year ago from an MSNBC interview. As I said, this is only 8 seconds long. I do have the link to the entire interview, but it's like 2 hours long. Nobody wants to watch that shit. But that's how I have validated that this is a real deal thing. So anyways, 8 seconds of Tampon Tim being a commie.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy. I think we need to...
Now, he's wrong. He's wrong. Misinformation, disinformation, and hate speech is all free speech. You can say all that shit. And people love to come back and be like, well, yeah, but you got to suffer the consequences. Nah, not really. Not really. Now, if you threaten another individual, you're going to have some consequences. Yeah, that's some free speech that may come with some consequences. But misinformation and disinformation is no different than making cartoons. When you watch a cartoon, everything they say in the cartoon is free speech, although none of it's true. None of it's real. No matter what they say, it's all bullshit. The characters themselves aren't even real. But this individual is trying to tell you that free speech isn't for that. That it's not real. It's like, no, that's wrong. Hate speech, misinformation, disinformation is all free speech. And the commies hate that. They hate that shit because they want to govern speech. They're trying to define what free speech is. It's free speech with these limitations. Only Democrats think that that's a real thing. Anyways, we're going to read through the chat really quick, but next up we have... These are groups engaged in anti-American activities while getting group funding. This was provided by Sam, and this is pretty much about how the Green New Deal is just a Green New Scam. That's what it really is, because most of this shit is related to saving the environment or whatever the fuck. That's not actually what they're doing with this money. They're funding anti-American activities, groups, crowds on demand, dumb shit like that. So... this is a very interesting video. Of course, I doubt anything is going to happen to these corrupt individuals, but at least we'll know about it. But before we get into that, we're going to read through the chat. Breeze by you fuck walls. Yeah. Yeah. Guess some. 8 seconds is like 2 climaxes for me with a snack in between. I love hearing about your life, Guess MJ. It's very interesting. You live quite the life. Mr. Beansy Beans, what a creepy fucker. Yeah. Why do they got to be so fake? Like, why stage phone calls and do all of this? Like, do people believe that's the actual phone call? Like, this is the first phone call since I've selected him as my VP. Like, for real? Like, why do that? Where do the ideas even come from? Like, hey, I got an idea. We're going to make a video and we're going to pretend like we're calling each other and saying congratulations. Why? I don't see Republicans doing that shit. Why do that? Don't get it. I mean, I know that blue team voters are dumb as dog shit, but why? Why do that? Do people believe it? You can't even read the comments to tell because it's all bots. Like, oh, so stunning and so brave. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the phone call was so stunning and so brave. Fucking bots. Snooks. Hissing like an effing snake. Yeah, Hyena Harris. Just talking through her teeth. They're gross. Breeze by you. I wouldn't touch it with someone else's dick. Yep. I know, you couldn't even put a stick in there to bite it off. I don't know. It's gone rabid. We're going to have to put it down. Guess I can't read that out loud. That's romantic and poetic at the same time, but I sure as hell can't read that out loud. We'll have to discuss that on our voice chat on Fridays, because that is something. I wouldn't put it in her mouth, though. I couldn't trust that. That's too much. That's worse than a trust fall, you know? Like, what do they call it? It's not a trust fall. It's called something else, where you're like, I don't know, trying to trust that people are going to catch you when you fall backwards. You stick your thing in that machine, and I don't know what's going to happen. You're come out a Democrat. That's what happens. Hyena Harris bites your wiener, and now you're voting blue team before you know it. You're over at the Pelosi house, swinging hammers and shit. You know, it's rough. Breeze by you. I need a shower after that clip. Yuck. I know, it's grody. Matt, well, that's a new accent. Yeah. Culture appropriation's only okay if you're a Democrat. What's up, Sam? Happy freedom. Normal times. Is it normal to put tampons in boys' restrooms? In Minnesota, it is. Thanks to walls. DCat, would somebody please pull the string on tampon Timmy because he really needs to be thrown away? He's all used up. Yep. Throw him out. Thistlebeard, Hyena Harris has a kickstand. She's got a few of them. It's just dudes walking around carrying them. Rappy, did anyone notice that he didn't hug his wife? He shook her hand after that rally. And he calls JD Vance weird. No, Rappy, I didn't see that. What a weirdo. Come here, wife. Let me shake your hand. I don't know. Pumpkin, he's a lizard man or woman and a commie. Yeah, Pumpkin, I think you're right. I think you're right. Jump off there'd be sacks on them jowls. I know, she's used to her face being inflated with wiener, so when there ain't no wiener, it's just baggy looking. It's fucking terrible. I didn't make that shit. I'm just telling you what I see. It ain't my fault her face looks like that. She's got the money to do something about it, but she ain't doing it. She knows. She needs those airbags every weekend. What's up, JT3? Happy freedom. Everybody in the chat saying buddy. Yeah, they're buddies. They're butt buddies. Giggling Spy. Yeah, those shoulders remind me of the 80s. Yeah. Yep. Looking like a city slicker. Giggling Spy. So spontaneous. Yep. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, why do the whole phone call thing? Just doesn't make sense. DCAD, did you see Irvine and Rumble are going after Google, trying to say that they're a monopoly? I'm just asking. Yeah, DCAT, we covered it yesterday. There's a couple things going on. X and Rumble, and I think there's another company that joined too. They're going after them for, I'm trying to think, because there's two things that just happened. There's a privacy thing that just happened where Google was actually ruled against, but then X and Rumble are teaming up to go after Google, but they're also going after GARM. And we covered something about GARM a couple weeks ago when we found out that GARM is the name of the company. Well, it's an acronym for the name of the company that all these social media companies use for moderation or censorship. And I didn't realize they had a third-party company that was censoring individuals on social media. I always thought it was just the social media platform itself. But they just hand over the moderation reins to GARM. And X and Rumble are going after GARM. They're going after Google, but they're also going after GARM. And so hopefully they win. And they're also encouraging people to join the lawsuit. I can't afford to do that shit. Otherwise, I absolutely would. Because I bet these emails that I have of them punishing me for videos and content that is currently on YouTube is obviously mistreatment. They're constantly discriminating against me and whatever, singling me out and shit. So I would love to join the fucking lawsuit, but I don't have the money to do that shit. So hopefully they win, and hopefully we see some change with all this damn censorship going on. What's up, Bobby? Happy freedom. Cricket Kiss, shoulder pads that double as knee pads. Clever girl. I guess I didn't realize. I didn't know. Did you hear that? There's a child screaming so loud I couldn't understand what the words were saying. I don't know what the hell is going on outside. Everybody wants to yell until I go outside and start yelling. Just reading through. Hypernova, cackle, and seethe. Yep, exactly. The dynamic duo. Somebody's mom. Why we spent the 80s cutting out shoulder pads. Camilla was sewing them in. We actually worked and had big shoulders. Yeah, somebody's mom. Hannah Harris. She's got big throat glands. She's got big calluses in her throat. That's it. What's up, Rhyme Time? Happy freedom to you. Holy. Salty ragu, I could almost see right into that thing. Holy. What's up, WMM? Happy freedom. Edward, you can submit a friend of the court briefing. What would that do, Edward? And happy freedom to you. I don't know enough about that kind of court stuff. Guess Google, Apple, Amazon ruled to be monopolies today. Thank you for letting me know. Guess All right, hooligans. We're gonna get into this next video. This is something that people should be outraged about, and they're not. And like I said, this was provided to me by Sam. This video is titled, "These are groups engaged in anti-American activities while getting government funding." And this is a pretty clear and thorough video, which is not very common. They're going to give us like the whole meat and potatoes in one video. Like, there's no bullshit. They just tell us exactly what's going on, and it's communism, it's corruption, it's wrong, and somebody should do something about this shit. Once again, it's titled, "These are groups engaged in anti-American activities getting government funding," says Shelly Moore Capitillo, or something or other. But either way, hit that like button over on Rumble, and let's get this rolling.
Well, thank you all for coming. And thank you, Senator Ricketts, for not just this particular topic, but Senator Ricketts is a particularly active member on the EPW committee. And I appreciate that, because I know you know it, being a former governor, probably better than some others. So interesting developments, some of them topical today. And some of you all have heard me talk about this, but I think this should be an outrage, really, to every tax-paying citizen. We're talking about the Inflation Reduction Act, which is almost 2 years old as of this August. And it also, I noticed in the president's schedule that he was getting briefed on the Inflation Reduction Act. So I'm sure he got this briefing while he was being briefed on the Inflation Reduction Act, which we have renamed Invest in Radical Activities Act, because that's what this is about. So we've really been digging into who is getting these massive amounts of grants through the EPA. There's $3 billion in the Inflation Reduction Act, the IRA, that will go for different climate kind of buckets. And in our investigation, we found that a lot of this money that's going out really has little to do with the environment and a lot to do with funding groups that are basically engaged in what I characterize as anti-American activities. They're anti-American, anti-Semitic, anti-Israel, anti-police, and anti-border security. So the first one I'm going to go to is, and before I do that, I'm also going to say that Vice President Harris, who is now the nominee for the Democrat presidential race, is quoted here. "I've put equity at the center of our nation's largest investment in climate in history to reach the organizations that know their community best." That's what she said when they rolled out and actually named these organizations. And interestingly, today, there was a news article today saying that the green groups have now formed a coalition today, and guess who they're endorsing for president? Vice President Harris. So let's go over to the following one. I say follow the money because I think that's where you find out. The first one is climate justice. It's up on the top right-hand bar there. $100 million. They have glorified Hamas in a lot of their social media, on their websites and other things. And they think Israel has no right to exist. They're getting $100 million. This is a direct grant to them. The next one is the NDN Collective. Do you know them? Yes, they're a partner. Yes, they, on their social media, call the United States a so-called country and also call for the defunding of the police and our United States military. Imagine that in these times right now. Next, we have two New York and New Jersey coalitions that are getting $50 million. They're actually going to be participating in granting $50 million. Their quotes are, "The border and concept of citizenship is racist, and wants no collaboration with federal immigration officials, and the ICE agenda is racist as well." Then we have the social and environmental entrepreneurs, $50 million. Again, abolish police, abolish prisons. The latest one, and those previous ones I'm talking about were all announced in December by the Vice President and named on the EPA's materials as they rolled them out through the press. The Ella Baker Center for Human Rights, the most recent funding was announced last week, is getting between $1 and $3 million, and they are actively advocating to defund police, decriminalize shoplifting, and abolish our prisons. So I think that that this uncovers quite a bit of the $3 billion. We're up to $200 million, actually a little bit more than that, if you count everything all in. And this is just the lack of accountability. The administrator of the EPA has been questioned about this. He says the money hasn't gone out. That was their first thing. Well, they haven't gotten the money yet. Now they're saying, well, we don't check out the partner organizations. So this NDN would be a partner organization as opposed to an actual grantee. So why aren't you vetting these people? I mean, this is taxpayers' dollars. And what do they have to do with telling people how to live and cope better and clean up their environment? So I think that we need to know that these are appalling to me and to many of us who work hard to make sure that we're not just paying our taxes, but we're also making sure that we're making good investments from the federal government. So what are we doing about it? Well, we're shining a light on it and urging the EPA to not disperse this money. And coincidentally, they haven't dispersed all of this money yet, so we'll see what happens. I pushed in the Appropriations Committee for more money for the EPA Inspector General, somebody to follow the money within the EPA, because they know best. An Inspector General would be able to do that. And then I think the most important thing is when we take control of Congress after January, we will be able to defund a lot of this, but we also be able to follow it and do much more oversight. So I'm going to turn it over to my friend from Nebraska and see.
So like I said, it's a pretty interesting video, and people should be outraged. They should be outraged. These people are working against America, and they're using tax money to do it. They're using everybody's money to do it. Bunch of commie shit, the commie agenda. Let me see. Next up, we got another traitor on the loose. Old rat sack skin. Can't stand this guy. Not at all. He's just a mess of a human being. Old rat sack skin announces plan to overthrow SCOTUS and trigger a civil war. It's good stuff, and it's coming up next, and it will be our last news video of the day. And we got a feel-good video, and we got a funny video coming up, so don't you worry. Last bit of news is coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat and see what you hooligans think about these Marxists here lying about what they're spending money on. And I don't mean sending money to Ukraine. No, no, no. These people are pro-Hamas and everything else. Traitors. Anyways, let's read through the chat. Breeze by you. I can't believe all this crap. Actually, with all that's going on, I guess I can. Yeah, Breeze by you. When will enough be enough? I really don't want to see it. I'd rather just get the Orange Eagle in there and fix this shit. I mean, I hate to be lazy and have someone else fix my problems, but I don't want to fight in a civil war. I don't want to fight in a revolution. And people that say they do, they don't know what they're asking for. It's much easier to vote for the Orange Eagle than to go do some, crazy shit like that. So hopefully we can get President Trump in there, we can get things turned around, and we don't have to worry about fighting this fight ourselves. It's our obligation to go vote November 5th. And so we will have to go do our obligations, our political duty and all that. It's reading through. Guess if they start taxing masturbation, I'll have to file for bankruptcy. Don't give them ideas, Guess Jay. It's the only thing we have left that's free. Okay? They start I can't even say it. They start hitting us with tax on the mileage we're putting on these wieners. Oh, no. I don't want those damn problems. I want to live in a free country. Holy shit. Now I know what it's like to live under communism. They start doing that shit. That's the line. I draw the line right there. We're hitting the streets after that. Sam, it's the Marxist agenda actually to disrupt. Yep, Sam. And they're doing it. They're doing the thing. And they just spoke about it on Capitol Hill, where they have the most power in the whole damn nation to be able to fix this. And instead they did a press briefing. Yeah, that's what we need is a press briefing. A press briefing about it. How about holding those fuckers accountable? No. They're going to hold a DNC instead. Let's have the corrupt individuals who are laundering money to do anti-Americanism. Let's go hold them a DNC and celebrate them. That's literally what's about to happen. It's just trash. RK, throw them all in the shitty river they used for the Olympics. That's right, RK. And don't give them a tetanus shot. Soldier Regu, she's wrong. Math is racist. That's what they say. That's what they say. Edward, your wiener tax is for 300K miles a month. I'm still getting taxed. Shit. I'm just sitting there like, what do I do with these now? What am I supposed to do with these? Gotta shave your palms every week. Might as well give that up. The tax is coming. Snook's the breast briefing. So good. I know. We need a breast briefing. All this damn bad news. Sam, I like breast briefings. Fuck. Me too. I don't even know how to make that into a t-shirt. We have to get Alistair on it. See what he can come up with. I don't want to see KJP at the breast briefing though. Fuck that. Suction cup nipples and all that. No, I'm good. Hair juicer. The way you worded that. Imagine the IRS showing up to audit for your hog cranking. Fuck. I ain't telling them shit. Now that I think about it, I got a paper for census today. Hold on. Let me see if I can grab it really quick. I can't show you everything, but I want to know more about it. I can show you because I can't show you everything because of personal information and security reasons and such. Let me see, because we all been waiting on this, because this is how they're gonna change our what did you call them? Trying to make sure there's no sensitive information. Ooh. Bam. Census. Your response is required by law. So we've been waiting on this because this is how the illegals are going to end up affecting our, what is it, electoral count or whatever? Because in the census, they ask how many people live in the house, even if they are not legally in the country. And so now it's starting. Census is now starting. I obviously just received that. So if you haven't received yours, you can expect it to be coming soon. And this is the beginning process of how they're going to change our election and shit. Because now we have to add in those 22 million illegals that are inside the country. Through these census forms, that's what's going to happen. Population just went up 22 million. It's going to change our electoral votes or certification process or whatever. It's going to change the numbers. You know what I mean? Like, you can have the majority of the state, like Michigan is all red, except for like 4 or 5 big ass cities. But because they're the big cities, Michigan looks blue. That stuff is going to change, but I don't think it's going to be in our favor because we're adding in illegals who are going to be voting blue team. I mean, it says it right on the flyer that they were handed. Keep Joe Biden in office, come to America, and we'll give you a free ride. And so that's what they did. That's how they got here. This is being advertised shit like that. Let me see. Reading through the chat. Hair Juicer, listen, buddy, that front-facing camera ain't just for you. Fess up and things will go much easier. Yeah, Hair Juicer. That's what they say on the census form here, is how many miles are you putting on that wiener every day. I'm like, hey, that's my business. Don't you worry about that. Good nos. Breeze by you, what law? Is there an actual law? I don't know. I've always been told that you have to fill it out. You don't have a choice. I've never heard of anyone going to jail for not filling it out, though. The other thing I've never heard of is people actually being fined for not having Obamacare. You guys remember that? I don't know if they still do that. I'm exempt from it for one or another reason. But when you file your taxes, they used to say, do you got insurance? You say no. And then they would be like, you're going to have to pay thousands of dollars in fines because you don't have Obamacare or whatever. I've never heard of anyone being forced to actually pay that money. I've heard of people being threatened with it. I've never heard of one person going to jail because they didn't pay for the stupid fines for Obamacare. So I don't know if they will actually do something to you about this census shit. But I always fill it out. I don't have anything to hide, so I don't care. But it is what it is. It's not about me filling out census that I'm worried about or the reason I'm even talking about census. It's the fact that the border crossers are going to affect our election through the census. And a lot of people were bringing this up back when the open border was a new thing. But I couldn't figure out at the time if we were going to actually have census or not because it doesn't happen every year. I don't know how often it happens. So I wasn't sure if we were going to see a census before the election and while we're in this messy period trying to get the Orange Eagle back into office. But here we are. So it is all done like clockwork. Tom, I refuse to fill out any census or jury duty. I think I've heard of people going to jail for jury duty, for not appearing for jury duty. But I've never heard anybody actually going to jail for census. Guess you don't go to jail for census, but don't get caught removing mattress tags. Yeah, I guess and I wonder about that too. Police are like, I need to see your mattress. The fuck you do? He's got a gun. No. Stupid. Fucking stupid. Breeze by you. Yeah, another way they will try and steal the election because there's no way Hyena or Tampon can win a fair one. Yeah, Breeze by you. They're not winning the election. Not fairly, they're not. Yeah, Edward. I'm trying to think of clever things. Hair Juicer, census came to my house and my ex told him off. Told him off good. Fuck off my porch. Nobody lives here. Jeff taught us well. Fuck count day. Yeah, Hair Juicer. Fuck count day. Jay Spray, the fine for Obamacare was $250 and they took it out of your taxes. Paid it a few times. Interesting, Jay Spray. See, I've always heard of people being charged $10,000, $15,000, $25,000 in fines for not having Obamacare, but then just nothing happened. They didn't pay it, and then no one ever came after them. But I also don't know how much they got back in tax returns. Maybe it was just, I don't know, $15,000 or something. I think you'd notice if you didn't get that back in your tax returns. Not that I've ever gotten anything even close to that. You gotta have like 15 kids in order to do shit like that. But either way. Yeah, Edward, you're right. You are right. Snooks, I cut my mattress tags off. Goodness, Snooks. Out here breaking hearts. Thistlebeard, all people should be free. Absolutely. Silverwolf, we are all God's children. Yep, we're his favorite. We are God's favorite. Every one of us are. His favorite thing he ever created. I remember that when people tell me I'm not funny. Like, well, at least I'm God's favorite. Nah. Fuck you, man. DCAT, isn't that convenient? Just before the election. Imagine that. Whitmer's Secretary of State must be hard at work screwing the election over again. You know it, DCAT. You know it. That's what they do. That's about all they do on Capitol Hill. Lee Guitarman, if you want $15,000 back from your taxes, take lessons from Hunter. Just don't leave the evidence on your laptop. Yeah, Lee Guitarman, I don't know. Not clever enough. I can't live that life. Hunter Biden, he's just something else. He's just something else. Where's he at? Where's he been at? I ain't seen him, ever since Hyena Harris took the reins from Oh Shit Your Pants. Must be back up to no good. What's up, Lisa? Happy freedom. Yes, I did get my hair cut. I cut my hair. I'm more aerodynamic now, and I'm less homeless looking. Somebody's mom banned all voting machines. Absolutely. We need to go back to paper ballots. In voting day instead of voting month. Cameron, where is Hunter? It's a good question. Dirtbag Freedom. See, and I can't even say the machines' names because those people are going after everybody. They don't want you to say who stole the fucking 2020. They don't want you to say the name of the machines, and they will sue you over that shit. It's stupid. Stupid. So stupid. Edward, hands off my dick miles. That's what I'm saying. I'm a free American, okay? Don't you worry about my dick miles. Anyways, we're getting on to our last bit of the news here. It's titled Raskin announces plan to overthrow SCOTUS and trigger a civil war. That's nice. That's nice. Now, this video has been circulating since August 5th, so about 2 days. I had been asked about it to see if I had seen it or not, which I had, but this video is 8 minutes long. Now, we're not going to sit here and endure the whole 8 minutes. Because we're not, because I said so. And so we're going to play the first 2 minutes and 45 seconds of it, because after that they just go into discussion. It's just people talking to each other. So the first 2 minutes and 45 seconds that we're going to watch is Raskin announcing plan to overthrow SCOTUS and trigger a civil war.
Why do they hate Trump so much? Because as much as I get irritated by Trump, the other side is 10 times worse. And look, I'm not perfect either, but Jamie Raskin says Congress will stop Trump on J6 using the 14th Amendment and create civil war conditions if he's reelected. These uniparty snakes are the greatest threat to our country that has ever existed, D.C. Drano says, and they won't give up power without a fight. Here he is.
What can be put into the Constitution can slip away from you very quickly. And the greatest example going on right now before our very eyes is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which they're just disappearing with a magic wand, as if it doesn't exist, even though it could not be clearer what it's stating. And so, they want to kick it to Congress. So it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025 to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified. And then we need bodyguards for everybody in Civil War conditions, all because the 9 justices, not all of them, but these justices who have not many cases to look at every year, not that much work to do, a huge staff, great protection, simply do not want to do their job and interpret what the great 14th Amendment means. And I'm glad that Sherilyn's creating her new center so we can bring that.
He just said this on C-SPAN yesterday. I just learned about this 20 minutes ago. I could have done the whole show on this. They're telling you they're going to create civil war conditions and not let him be seated as the president. Everything they accused him of, they're now doing, showing their total desperation. This guy's father was a famous communist in the Soviet Union. He is admitting their plan. This is treason, Nick, out in the open. What do you say to this?
Now, I definitely can't let that guy onto the screen because I'm pretty sure Twitch and YouTube have a problem with it. Now, I give a fuck less what YouTube has a problem with. We only go live there for the notifications. But either way, a lot of people don't like Nick Fuentes, and I still don't know a whole lot about him. Everyone just says he's a white supreme pizza and whatever, but I don't care. He's not in my line of what I'm doing, so I don't worry about Nick Fuentes. But I don't like Raskin. I haven't liked him the whole time I've known who he was. I didn't really know anything about him until they tried the second impeachment, the second attempted impeachment of President Trump. So he's always being dramatic, and it's always about how Democrats are the victim and how the Republicans are just raging maniacs and racists in the streets. They just hate everyone, and they're just raging crazy people. And that's not what you see if you use your own fucking eyeballs. But Raskin and his stories, he's like Mother Goose. Now he's out here trying to say, oh yeah, they think the Orange Eagle's gonna win. Watch this, we got something up our sleeve. So I think that's really interesting, and I am really interested to see what they try and roll out from this. I know they all got their plans, but as you could see with J13, their plans fail. And so we know that they're going to try and pull crazy shit. We only got less than 100 days until it's time for the election. Time for us to go out there and do what we do. Got to go out there and vote. Got to go out there and vote for the Orange Eagle. And we know they're going to do crazy shit. They need to stop taking attempts at President Trump. I know that. And this whole Civil War shit really comes down to self-control. Like I said, when they took shots at President Trump, we have to remain in control. They want to take our hope away. We'll have that conversation when that day comes. But until then, you got to have that self-control. Self-control is a superpower. It is very much a superpower. You see how these Democrats act, the Democrat leaders and the Democrat voters. They become raging, just seething evil beings when you trigger them in any kind of way, from existing to wearing a MAGA hat or facts, explaining what a real woman is. They just become crazed and stuff. If you remain in control, that psychopath across the room will still be a raging lunatic being like, you're the crazy person, you're the bad person, you're the evil person, while you just sit there all calmly and smile at them. Because fuck them. That's the reality of it, is fuck them. So you got to remain in control. They're going to do psyops. They're going to be doing false flags, the whole deal like they did last time. You got to remain in control because we got to be around, got to be free enough to go vote November 5th for the Orange Eagle. So that's the plan. Now, with that being said, that is the last bit of our news for the day. We do have our feel-good video of the day titled Let Freedom Ring. And then right after that, we have our funny video of the day titled Nature's Holster. And it's a really funny one. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat. And before we do that, I want to remind you guys, if you would like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use the Linktree link in the description, or maybe Snooks will post it in the chat for you guys. But you're welcome to make donations using PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee, or you can even send crypto. We're going to hop in the chat really quick, and we got our feel-good video coming up next titled Let Freedom Ring. Breezed by you, self-control and common sense, both rare superpowers on the other side. Cassandra and accountability. Yep. They're superpowers. Cassandra, they're master level projectionists. You are right. If they're good at anything, it's stealing elections, and projecting, just being severely disingenuous. Hair juicer, Nick's awesome. See, I'll have to check his stuff out. Every time I see anything about him, everyone's like, oh, he's white supremacist. Like he's a literal white supremacist. And I'm like, I've never heard him say anything that was racist or anything like that. I mean, I haven't watched a whole lot of his stuff, but generally when people are racist, you don't have to hear more than 20 seconds of them talking before you realize what's going on. So, I don't know. I'll have to look into Nick Fuentes to get an opinion of him. Guess rat sack skin is what they removed from Nadler during the circumcision. Yeah, that could be. That could be. Tom, if you don't have a gun, you're just stockpiling for people that do. Yep, you're right, Tom. Breeze by you, I'm surprised Alex Jones still has a voice. Yeah, it was probably early on in the show. That's how I feel when I get to the end of the live and my voice gets all raspy. Like, you should hear me at the end of the day, because I still have to talk in the day when I'm not live. And sometimes I'll be talking on the phone and they're like, you doing all right? Yeah. You sound like you're losing your voice. Nah, just long live today. Sounding like Alex Jones. But a lot of that is from yelling over the fans. Like today I don't have any fans on. So my voice is probably a little less intense than it has been the last 2 weeks. So I don't have to yell over the fans today. Hell yeah, Edward. I'm not going to read that out loud. Confidentiality is key. Man, he's such a scumbag. He is. Raskin is just a bad person. He's just a bad person. He's the Raskin from The Great Mouse Detective. He like literally is. If you go and watch that old ass movie, The Great Mouse Detective, I used to watch that with my grandma when I was a kid. He is the Raskin. He's the rat guy pretending to be a mouse with all the other mice. That's Raskin, just corrupted. Oh my God, RK. I used to perform circumcisions on elephants. The pay wasn't great, but the tips were huge. That's terrible. It's not Saturday. You guys need to cut this out. You save that shit for Saturday. Come on, man. Bobby, he be mumble rapping. My voice hurts. Just a little mumble rap. It's all right. It's all right. No worries, Thistle. You're fine. You're totally fine. D-Cat, Jamie Raskin needs to be brought up on charges for inciting an insurrection, in my opinion. Yeah, D-Cat, I think so too. They should look into him. Normal times, Camilla is the last thing America needs. Yeah. It's like giving America AIDS. Pumpkin, I think things are going to get real crazy. I think so too, and I'm actually surprised that we haven't seen more chaos. Like, we're on the other end of summer at this point. Like, our warmest days are behind us, or at least that's how it is in Michigan. And so I'm really surprised that we've made it this far without real violence in the streets. Like, yeah, there's been pro-Hamas protesters, and they kind of, you know, the marching, screaming stuff. But they're not actually burning stuff down. It's not like the BLM days where, because, like, I remember sitting here covering the BLM protests, and people would hop in the chat who have never been here before, and they would say, what are we watching? And it'd be like 6 people all talking shit about how they wish America was a communist country. And in the chat, these new people would be like, oh, this is boring. Why are we watching this? Blah, blah. And I'm like, just wait. Give it a minute. As soon as it gets dark, shit's going to get real. And they're like, oh, this is stupid. You guys are just watching this shit, blah, blah. And as soon as nightfall comes, these people are burning shit down and being crazy. And there's 1,000 of them in the streets and shit. And these people come back and they're like, holy shit. And I'm like, yeah, I told you. I told you this is how it goes every night. It's not like that anymore. These people come out in the daytime and they scream and cry, and, you know, then they got to get to their circle jerk. So it's just not like it was. And I'm surprised. I really thought that we would have some fire in the streets by now. But we have just under 100 days until it's time to go out there and vote. Anything can happen. They're not going to just let Trump win. There's stuff coming. It's inevitable. And I mean, I can't believe they're just going to let him win. It's just, nah. You see the polls. You see that they're lying in the polls. They are staging for something. It's just not here yet. Bobby, thank you for doing the show. Absolutely, Bobby. I appreciate you being here with us. Just reading through. We got our feel-good video coming up next. DCAT, I voted yesterday, and conveniently, guess what? The machines were down. Imagine that. Just another scam. Yeah, DCAT. I know. I'm just waiting for November. They're going to do the same kind of shit. Trump girl rat sack skin is a horrible person. He is. Pumpkin, he's an ugly, evil man. He is. You guys are right on the money. Told to Carrie, looks like he's related to Epstein. Well, like Alex Jones was saying, he's related to some communist, and that really doesn't surprise me. Pumpkin, I'd like to see Rassack Skin in prison. Me too. He deserves it. He's a traitor. Trump girl, I wish leftist liberal idiots would stop moving to my area in North Carolina and keep voting for the blue team. They're destroying my state. Yeah, Trump girl. That's how I feel about Michigan. If you drive up and down the street, I'm seeing the biggest Trump signs I've ever seen in my life. Like big ass signs, like 5 foot by 3 foot signs in the yard. And it's like every other house has got it. I've never seen so many Trump signs in my life. And then I gotta look on the fucking map, and I got people, that show up in the chat who are like, Michigan's blue. Not really. Like, not really, unless you go to these 4 locations in the state. The entire rest of the state is voting Trump. And it's obvious. It's everywhere. It's on t-shirts and hats and flags and fucking yard signs and everything else. I mean, I bet I can almost guarantee you there's houses here that have it spray painted on the side of the house. Michigan is so pro-Trump, except for those 4 fucking cities, the big cities here. And it seems like only their vote matters. And it's not true, but that's what it fucking seems like. Yeah, no? Puff stuff, his son even hated him. Nobody likes ugly communism. What's up, Muskie Boss? Happy freedom. Peyton, irony, the red man in Michigan is blue. What is that, Peyton? What is the red man? Like, what are you talking about? Lee Guitar Man, the stuff is going to start when they try not to certify prediction. Could be, Lee Guitar Man. I'm wondering that too. Oh, Peyton, I don't know anything about Native Americans and stuff like that here in Michigan. I don't know anything about it. I know there's a lot of, I don't even think they're called Native Americans anymore. I don't know what's politically correct, but you know what I'm talking about. Those individuals got a huge presence here in Michigan. There's lots of Native Americans here. There's lots of events related to Native Americans, powwows and things like that. I just don't go to that stuff. I don't know anybody that's related or of that nature. Not intentionally. I just don't know anybody. Don't have a reason to go to those events. Therefore, I don't know anything about that stuff here in Michigan. I'm not Native American. My family's not. So, I don't know. So I don't know anything about it. Third Bike Freedom. Alex Jones was right. It's pretty common. Somebody's mom, watch for markings on the mail-in ballots for Democrat or Republican. Yeah, I'm waiting on mine mail-in ballots. I'm sure they'll do it. I want to say last time they sent me 5 or 6 of them. Edward Circle Jerk, and I was not invited. Pretty sure you got to vote blue team. And you got to love your children more than a parent does. Pretty sure. That's how blue team does it, you know. RK, lots of Trump stuff around me. Yeah. Tom, we have a few, but then we vote like it's a Trump rally. That's right. And then not a political sign site around here. Really? There's signs everywhere. I bet just looking out the window I could count 10 of them. They're everywhere. Here, Juicer, it's because bricks got expensive. That could be. That could be. They couldn't pull up with the pallets of bricks anymore like they did last time. That could be. You might be onto something. That is funny. All right, we're going to shake off the weight of the world. There's no reason to carry around that weight with you. Ain't nothing we could do about it. We can just know what's going on, inform those around us, especially normies who need the information more than anybody. But we'll just go ahead and put that aside. We know what's going on. Take a breath. And it's time to get into our feel-good video of the day. And it's titled, Let Freedom Ring. All right, here we go. Ooh. Now that I think about it, I can't show this shit on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, you want to watch the rest of the live, use the Linktree link in the description. Make your way to either Twitch, Kick, Rumble, jeffmaclive.com, or Twitter, because we're cutting off YouTube right now. This video is just too good for YouTube. It's not my fault. You can blame YouTube for that shit. Fuck them. Just remembered.